Hello everyone! Welcome to Messy Hearts, where we help people who seek advice for their troubled relationships and lives. Listen carefully and share your experience down in the comments below to help those who seek it. We hope you enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's head on to the first story. Story 1. My adult stepson seems to be becoming a NEET. I love my husband but am considering leaving. How do we fix this? In 2020, my husband, I'm 46, and I, 33, purchased a larger home and have been married for 5 years. I wanted to live somewhere quiet in the suburbs and try for children. Almost immediately upon learning of this, his adult son, I'm 26, requested to move back in. His son had always lived with his mom, so we hadn't spent much time together, but he wanted to move to our city to go to school and take advantage of his free GI Bill college benefits from his father. We greatly wanted him to find success, and this was an adult family member, so no rent or responsibilities were outlined. Within a year, though, he had failed the entrance exams and decided not to go back to school. He spent most of his time visiting his family. He is very close with his mother's family, and there is clear animosity that his dad was away in the military for much of his childhood, so he never calls his dad family. It was the ex-wife who cheated, got pregnant, had the kid under my husband's military insurance, and then divorced and married her affair partner, just in case anyone asks. So shortly after a year of him essentially doing nothing other than playing video games and smoking weed, he moved back to his mom's. Well, about 1 year later, he requests to move back. This time it will be different because his mom has helped him to get a WFH position at her company. So he has a plan and just wants to bond with his dad, save up money, and move out. Okay, sounds good. At some point, we learn that he's deeply in debt. I had always seen boxes in the mail. He bought a brand new car and he bragged about his luxury purchases, so I had a hunch but stayed out of it. The plan became, help him get out of debt and learn about finances. His dad taught him about interest rates and helped to transfer his balance to a low-interest loan. We chatted about paying it off, but decided to hold off as we hadn't seen any real responsibility. Unfortunately, a few months later, he was let go. But his spending didn't seem to stop. I continued to get alerts from Ring throughout the middle of the night as he went partying. He continued to have money to spend on weed, played video games all day. As someone who moved out at 18, worked to get a full-ride scholarship, and now works each day to pay for this house, it definitely felt insulting. We ended up going to marriage counseling where the therapist was so ridiculous. I think the guy was honestly 100 years old, rambling, drinking, and sure to stay alive, that I just let it go for a while longer. Before this, I had been cooking meals for everyone, but I basically stopped at this point. This went on for maybe 6 months, with his dad asking what his plans were, if he'd go to school, join the military, learn a trade, anything. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't have a passion in life. So his dad helps him to get a military contracting job. Secret clearance paid for. It's a bottom-of-the-ladder job, but it's a great stepping stone. He quits on day 2. He doesn't tell us. He just stops going, and I ask after him being home for 1 to 2 weeks what happened. His dad confronts him and finds that he didn't like having nothing to do, staring at the clock all day. His dad is disappointed and basically disengages at this point. He says he isn't helping him anymore, not charging rent, not kicking him out, just not helping him with the career search. Miraculously, several months later, he lands a well-paying job at a medical clinic. This is great. But after a couple of days, his car is still in the driveway. Why isn't he at work? He stops leaving his room until we've gone to bed, so my husband puts off talking to him. We find out maybe 2 months later that he quit because he wanted to go to Europe with his family. Family means everything to this kid. He couldn't give up the opportunity to go on this family vacation that his MD grandma was paying for, even for a high-paying job that didn't require a college degree. My husband says he needs to find a job or he's out of the house. It's a weak threat because at this point he's declined help from everyone. His uncle basically hands him a marketing position. He says they can't do it because he wants to go out for his birthday weekend. His other uncle gets him interviews for Costco. He doesn't go. My husband had recruiters call him. He hung up once he figured it out. This point, I'm talking to my husband about wanting to move out myself. I work hard at a high-stress job, and it's honestly too much to have someone I consider to be a NEET living in the home that I pay for. He doesn't come out until nighttime, doesn't interact with us, basically acts like he doesn't exist. I only see ring alerts all night. My only rule is no smoking weed in the house, so I guess to go smoke. I feel it isn't healthy for him either. I've even run this situation by my husband's mother. She's Asian, I'm not, so this is all especially difficult as culturally families should support each other, and she said kick him out. I feel guilty at the same time though. What if he's depressed? What if he's really trying? Would charging rent that we put into an account help? But you need a job to pay rent. I don't want to ruin my husband's relationship with his son, which is why I'm feeling like I need to be the one to leave. But my husband believes his son needs a wake-up call and that he will ultimately thank him for doing this. So I'm asking at this point, what should we do? What piece of advice would you give to OP? Let us know down in the comments, and let's move on to our next story. Story 2. I messed up at the airport and is sad with how my boyfriend treated me. How can I manage the issue or my feelings? I, 28F, has been dating my boyfriend, 28M, for almost 2 years. We're traveling for the first time internationality. Long story, but you kinda need to know. I fumbled, and I fully acknowledge I am 1,000,000,000% at fault. I'm embarrassed. We were checking in for our flight and I forgot my passport. I made a rash last-minute decision to switch my fanny pack and I left my passport behind. I was so ashamed and apologetic. We live outside of the main city, so it'll take me an hour to get back, making 2-hour round trip if I'm lucky with no traffic. So I wouldn't recover my passport in time. The moment I shared that I forgot, my boyfriend blew up, sad face. He was calling me stupid and forgetful. And TBH, I wasn't disagreeing. I was like, I know. I was so anxious and embarrassed with how he was scolding me in front of the flight attendant. She was giving me this look that I knew, but I stayed calm. The flight attendant was quick on helping me. She said I can catch tomorrow's flight and pay a $300 difference. I thought that was super reasonable. But my boyfriend was like, what about me? And I said he can go on ahead and I'll catch up a day later. Then he was ranting about how we are supposed to travel together, so then I suggested I'll also pay to change his flight with me. Then he complained that it's a waste of money and we could have spent $600 on the trip if I wasn't so dumb. Money is not a problem, DW. I was holding it together because there was a lot of people in line behind us and I wasn't trying to cause a scene. I probably apologized 100 times, and the flight attendant was even going out of her way to look for other flights from other places that may fly out same day. For the whole 20 to 30 minutes, my BF was being so hard on me, and I know I derailed our plans, but I'm trying my best to fix it. He kept on sighing so hard and grunting, I was so stressed out. Suddenly, the flight attendant asked, "Can anyone bring your passport? I'll bring you to the priority line through TSA to help you." I'm like, OMG. So I called my best friend and begged her to go to my place to bring my passport, and she came through. I love her so much. So all good? And oh, I told my BF he can check in first and go inside, but he insisted in staying with me. As we proceeded to wait for my bestie to come, he kept scolding me. I know I fucked up. He kept saying, "Oh, your best friend better make it on time. How could you forget? If we miss this flight, if I care to catch the next one. You're so stupid," etc. Honestly, I lost some of my lifespan waiting and praying my friend would come on time. Thankfully she did, and with the help of the same flight attendant, we made it though with 7 minutes before boarding. The moment I sat down on the flight and finally collected myself, I cried. But then my BF was being so affectionate. He was hugging me and patting my head and saying, "We're okay. Don't worry, we made it." I straight up told him I didn't appreciate the way he treated me earlier, and he's like, "Can't coddle dumb behaviors." Which I'm like, what? He was really good at consoling and promised he'll buy dinner the moment we land. I thought I could forgive him, and I really want to enjoy our trip. We landed and he's all happy and back to his loving self, but the situation at the airport is bothering me. Any advice? Like I know I messed up pretty badly, so maybe I should just let it go. BC, that was on me. I just wished he was nicer. How can I bring it up again without ruining the vibe, or should I wait till we finish traveling? Or just suck it up. BC, I was the one who caused it anyway. Thank you for watching. All advice is welcomed and will help these people to resolve the things that trouble them. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. And never forget that your smile is your best feature. Wear it proudly.